So for today's video, we are going to be making this 8-inch sitting doll. He is 100% no-sew. We are going to start at his head. When we get to the neck, we'll be adding the arms. And then when we get down to the end of the body, we're going to add the legs and then close them up on the bottom. You are free to make and sell as many of anything that I have on my YouTube channels as you want. I just ask that you don't write down and sell any pattern related to him. I'd love to see your creations. You can make him into anything you'd like. Add ears, add faces. Give him hair or anything you wish. Change his colors. I would love to see your creations down in the description of this video. I will have a link to my Facebook page where you can post photos of anything you've made. Don't forget, if you're going to add safety eyes, to do it before you sew up the bottom. I will try and put a little message in there for a reminder. I think that's it, so let's get started. To begin, we are just going to make a loop as if we were going to start a chain. So just wrap it around your finger, down and through. We're going to be putting 6 single crochets in there. So make it about just a little bigger than your hook. And we're going to put our hook in the loop, grab yarn, pull through, and just do 1 chain to secure our yarn to our loop. And that does not count as a stitch. So for round 1, we're going to do 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Grab your stitch marker if you're using one, and I'm just using a piece of thread. And for round 2, we're going to do 6 increases, so that'll be 2 stitches in every stitch around. So first increase, 1 and 2. Increase, 3 and 4. Increase, 5 and 6. Increase, 7 and 8. Increase, 9 and 10. And our last increase, 11 and 12. Flip your stitch marker, and for round 3, we are going to be doing 1 single crochet and 1 increase for a total of 18, and we'll repeat that all the way around. So 1, increase, 2 and 3, and then repeat that sequence, 4, 5 and 6, 7, increase, 8 and 9, 10, increase 11 and 12, 13, increase 14 and 15, 16, and our last increase 17 and 18. For row 4, we are going to do 2 single crochets, 1 increase, and repeat that all the way around. 1, 2, and our increase. 3 and 4. 5, 6, increase, 7 and 8. 9, 10, increase for 11 and 12, whoops, 13, 14, and our increase 15 and 16, 17, 18, increase 19 and 20, 21, 22, and our last increase 23 and 24. Row 5, we're going to do 3 single crochets, 1 increase all the way around, and repeat that for a total of 30. So 1, 2, 3, and an increase, 4 and 5. Repeat that over. 6, 7, 8, and an increase, 9 and 10. 11, 12, 13, and an increase, 14 and 15. 16, 17, 18, and an increase for 19 and 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 and 25, 26, 27, 28, and our last increase, 29 and 30. Row 6, we are going to do 4 single crochets, 1 increase, repeat that all the way around for a total of 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase 5 and 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, increase 11 and 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, increase 17 and 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, increase, 23 and 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and increase for 29 and 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and an increase, 35 and 36. Whoops. For round 7, we're going to do 5 single crochets, 1 increase, repeat that all the way around for a total of 42. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our increase 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, increase 13 and 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, increase 20 and 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, increase 27 and 28, 29, whoops, 30, 31, 32, 33, and our increase 34 and 35. This should be our last set. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, and our increase 41 and 42. For rows 8 to 14, we are just going to do 42 single crochets all the way around, and that'll be 7 rows. I'll do the first row with you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, maybe yarn is catching here, 38, 39, 40, 41, and 42. Okay, so that would have been row 8. So you're just going to keep continuing on, row 9 to 14. So that'll be 6 more rows, and I will come back and catch you up when we're ready to start row 15. Okay, you should be ready to start row 15, which is going to be 5 single crochets and 1 decrease, and you'll repeat that all the way around for a total of 36. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll do a decrease for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, decrease for 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and a decrease, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, decrease 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, decrease 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, whoops, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36 is a decrease. Row 16 is going to be 4 single crochets, 1 decrease all the way around for a total of 30. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is a decrease. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is a decrease. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is a decrease. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is a decrease. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 is a decrease. 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30 is a decrease. Row 17 is going to be 3 single crochets and 1 decrease all the way around for a total of 24. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 is a decrease. 5, 6, 7, 8 is a decrease. Oops. 9, 10, 11, 12 is a decrease. 13, 14, 15, and 16 is a decrease. 17, 18, 19, 20 is a decrease. 21, 22, 23, and 24 is a decrease. Row 18 is going to be 2 single crochets and 1 decrease for a total of 18. 1, 2, 3 is a decrease. 4, 5, 6 is a decrease. 7, 8, 9 is a decrease. 10, 11, and 12 is a decrease. 13, 14, 15 is a decrease. 16, 17, and 18 is a decrease. So we're going to put this to the side for a minute, and we're going to move on to the arms. Since we're using the same color, you're going to go to the other end of your ball and get the other end of your yarn, and we're going to use that so we don't have to cut this string. We're going to make a loop. And you're going to go in and grab that yarn, Pull it back out through and make your 1 chain to secure your yarn to your loop. Remember, that doesn't count as a stitch. And we're going to do 8 single crochets into the loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Grab your stitch marker if you need one. Rows 2 and 3, we are just going to do 8 single crochets all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more row of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Row 4, we're going to do 1 single crochet, 1 increase for a total of 12. 1, increase, 2 and 3, 4, increase, 5 and 6, 7, increase, 8 and 9, 10, and increase, 11 and 12. Rows 5 and row 6, we're going to do 12 single crochets all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And we got one more row of 12 to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. For row 7, we're going to do 1 single crochet and 1 decrease for a total of 8. So 1 and 2 is a decrease, 3, and 4 is a decrease, 5, and 6 is a decrease, 7, and 8 is a decrease. Now for row 8 to row 13, you're just going to do 8 single crochets all the way around. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's 6 rows. So I am going to count first 3 rows 8 times 3. And then I'm going to do that again for 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Flip your stitch marker, but keep on counting in sequence. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Flip your stitch marker and count one more time. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So that's your first 3 rows of 6, and I'm just going to do that again for the next 3 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Flip your marker. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, flip your stitch marker, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Now you can get rid of your stitch marker. You're going to add a little bit of stuffing into this part of the hand, into the hand, I guess, of the arm. So you want the hand to be fairly firm, and then you're not going to have any stuffing in this part of the arm. And then you're going to fold it in half. And you're going to put 3 single crochets across the top. So you're going to go in both loops of this side, both loops on this side, and then single crochet. And you're just going to do that across. So 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to just tie it off and leave a little bit of a tail for later. Okay, so for row 19, we're going to attach the arms. We're going to start with 3 single crochets. One, 2, 3. Grab one of your arms. Make sure your strings are facing to where the front's going to be. So for your stitch markers in the back, you'll have them facing the other way. Go in your first stitch of your arm and your next stitch of the body. So there's your last stitch right there. So you're going to go into this stitch. I'm going to do 3 single crochets through the arm and the body. Just double check that you're in the right stitch and you're not putting 2 in the same stitch or missing a stitch. Then you're going to do 6 single crochets. So that's where your last stitch was. So you're going to go into this stitch right here. Pull it tight if you need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Grab your second arm. Make sure the string is facing where the front will be. You go in the first stitch of the arm again. And the next stitch of your head. And you're going to do 3 single crochets through the arm and the body. Try and keep it nice and tight. There's our third one. And then we should have 3 left. So there's our last stitch. So we'll go in that one. 1, 2, and 3, and we're back to our stitch marker. For round 20, we're going to do 2 single crochets and 1 increase for a total of 24. So 1, 2, and an increase, 3 and 4, 5, 6, and an increase, 7 and 8, 9, 10, and an increase, 11 and 12, 13, 14, and an increase for 15 and 16, 17, 18, and an increase, 19 and 20, 21, 22, and an increase, 23 and 24. For rows 21 to 23, we're going to just do 24 single crochets all the way around. So that'll be 3 rows of 24. One, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whoops, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. And I'm just going to keep counting around till I have 24 times 3, so 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, so that's 2 rows. We got 1 more row. 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, and 72. And there's our 3 rows of 24. Row 24 is going to be 3 single crochets, 1 increase, and repeat that all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, and increase 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, increase 9 and 10, 11, 12, 13, increase 14 and 15, 16, 17, 18, increase for 19 and 20, 21, 22. Oh, big naughty mess here. 23, an increase, 24 and 25, 26, 27, 28, and our increase, 29 and 30. Okay, rows 25 to 30 is just 30 single crochets all the way around. So that's 6 rows. And I am going to let you guys do that on your own, and I will come back for row 31. Okay, you should be done your 6 rows of 30 single crochet and ready to start row 31. And so for row 31, we're going to do 3 single crochets and 1 decrease for a total of 24. So 1, 2, 3, and a decrease for 4, 5, 6, 7, and a decrease for 8, 9, 10, 11, and a decrease for 12, 13, oops, 14, 15, and a decrease for 16, 17, 18, 19, decrease for 20, 21, 22, 23, and a decrease for 24. If you want to wrap these strings up to get them out of your way, we can do that now. And we are going to put some stuffing in. So you're going to want to fill his head fairly firm, but don't stuff it so full that you start stretching the stitches, especially down here at the bottom where you were decreasing. Just kind of keep pushing it up to get that round shape. Actually use a surprising amount of stuffing. Okay, we're getting close here. Just tuck a little bit around the sides and the bottom of the head. So that's pretty good, I think. And we'll put a little bit in his body. The body does not need to be near as firm as his head was. Don't fill it right to the top or you're going to struggle a lot more doing the legs. Okay, so for the leg, we are going to make our loop. And we're going to go in, grab our yarn, pull up and through, do our chain 1 to secure our yarn, remembering that does not count as a stitch. And we are going to do 6 single crochets into the loop. So 1, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Grab a stitch marker if you're using one. Whoops. Come on. For round 2, you're just going to do 6 increases. So increase 1 and 2. Increase 3 and 4. Increase 5 and 6. Increase 7 and 8. Increase 9 and 10. And your last increase, 11 and 12. For round 3, you're going to do 1 single crochet, 1 increase for a total of 18. So 1, whoops, increase 2 and 3, 4, increase 5 and 6, 7, increase 8 and 9, 10, increase 11 and 12, 13, increase 14 and 15, 16, and an increase 17 and 18. Flip your marker. For row 4, you're going to go in the back loop and you're going to just do 18 single crochets all the way around. And if you're unsure where the back loop is, this is where you would normally put your hook. And for the back loop, you're going to go down in between the V's and up and through that back loop of the stitch. Okay. Into the back loop. For row 4, 18 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just going to move my light a bit over here. It seems like it's, I think that was 7, so now we'll do 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Row 5, we are going to do 1 single crochet and 1 decrease, and we're back to stitching in the normal way through underneath both loops of the V. So 1, and the decrease is 2, 3, decrease is 4, 5, 7 is a decrease, or 6, sorry, 7, 8 is a decrease, 9, 10 is a decrease, 11, and 12 is a decrease. Okay, for row 6 to row 10, we're just going to do 12 single crochets all the way around. And I'm just going to count by 12s 3 times for the first 3 rows and 2 times for the last 2 rows to get my 5 rows. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So that's 1 row, and our next row, row 2, 11, or 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So that is 2 rows, and then our 3rd row, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. That's 3 rows. We have 2 more left. I'm going to start back down at 1 and do 2 sets of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that is our 4th row. So our last and our 5th row. 11, 12, 13, 14, doesn't matter. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So if you need to count that and double check, you're going to start down here where you made your first round of 6. That's row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we can take our stitch marker out and we're going to put a little bit of stuffing in there. You mostly want the bottom of the foot to be stuffed firmly, but you want to keep this flat. So you're going to kind of come out to the sides a bit. Keep your thumb on the bottom. I might have enough already. And you want this to kind of go flat too, so when your character is sitting, it's kind of like this. Because if you have it stuffed right full and then fold it, he's going to kind of want to lean backwards instead of straight up. So I think that's enough. And then you're just going to fold it in half. And you're going to put 6 single crochets across the top. So you're going to come back in the same stitch you were just in, and the stitch behind that, going through both sides. And that's your first single crochet. You can pull it tight if you think it's loosened up, and then just keep going across. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the last one will be 6. And make sure you're going through both sides on all your stitches. Then you're just going to tie that off, give it a cut, and make sure you make 2 of these guys. I will put a time stamp in the next frame for you to go back to. Okay, so now we need to line up where we want our legs to be. So make sure the back is facing away from you and you're looking at the front, and you're just going to kind of make sure you have them nice and even and center, and kind of squish his tummy down and find the 2 sides. So for me, it's right here and right here. These 2 stitches, this one is going to be where you start your first leg. So you're just going to mark that with a little stitch marker. Whoop, I almost pulled it right through. And then you're going to count 6 stitches this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That will be your first leg. Go into that 7th stitch, and that will be the first stitch of your second leg. And you're just going to mark that. I can't see through this light. Okay, mark that. A little bit overkill on the stitch markers here, but Okay, so let's get our hook back in there. I don't know if I wrote anything down to do this. So we were on row 31. This is row 31, and it was 24 stitches. And we are going to do 24 stitches around, but we're going to add our legs as we do that. So 1, oops, 2, it's light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm at 8 stitches. You might be 1 stitch off, higher or lower. Just depends how you found your center. You're going to want your strings facing the front. And you're going to go in the first stitch of your leg and the first stitch of the body that you marked for the leg. And take that out now. And you're going to do 6 single crochets across through both the leg and the body. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and your last one is 6, and that should bring you up to your stitch marker for your second leg. So there's your last stitch, and there will be your next stitch for your second leg. Grab your second leg, and now you want your string facing the other leg, so they'll both be in the front in the same spot. I think we can take that out. So get in the first stitch of the leg and the next stitch of the body, and then do your 6 single crochets across. So that was 1, here is 2, and we got 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the last one. Now, I'm going to count the rest of them out, but it really doesn't matter. As long as your legs are centered, you can check. I don't think 1 stitch out is really going to make a difference. But for me, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches left. So I had 8 stitches there and 4 stitches here, which means I had 12 through the legs and 12 in the back, and that's what we want to have. Just a quick little reminder before we get going too far. If you missed my little safety eye alert, make sure you get them in now. We're getting down to about the last couple rows. And I didn't write any of this down, so I'm just kind of winging it. So if I make a mistake, it will be corrected up along the top where I put the row and the amount of stitches. Okay, so this should be row 32, 2 single crochets, 1 decrease all the way around for a total of 18. So 1, 2, decrease for 3, pull this up a bit, 4, 5, and decrease for 6, 7, 8, and 9 is a decrease. 10, 11, and 12 is a decrease. 13, 14, and 15 is a decrease. 16, 17, and 18 is a decrease. All right, is this row 33? We're gonna do 1 single crochet, 1 decrease for a total of 12. So 1 decrease for 2, 3, 4 is a decrease. Whoop, it could have been a little tighter. 5, 6 is a decrease. 7, 8 is a decrease. 9, 10 is a decrease. 11 and 12 is a decrease. All right, if you want to add a little extra stuffing, do it now. Remembering that you kind of want his bum to be a little on the flatter side so he will sit instead of kind of tip around. And I'm not sure how much stuffing I need to add, but definitely need a little bit more. You can kind of manipulate it a bit, kind of make it go out instead of, I think I'm gonna put one more chunk in there. And that should help him kind of have a bit of a wider base. It's always easier to do it now than after you close, so I think we're gonna leave him like that. He might still want to tip forward, but you can kind of play with him a bit. And okay, so what are we on here? So 31, so we did a 32 and we did a 33, so this must be row 34. And we're just gonna do 6 decreases all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our last one, 6. Oop, I got a little stuffing there, I think. Oh, that was took a long time to make that last decrease. And you're just gonna slip stitch in the next stitch, and you're gonna tie that off. And then we will deal with all our ends. We'll take the arms strings off so we don't forget about them. So let's start with the bottom. And we're just going to weave that in and out. I'm going to do the front loop, but I don't know if it makes a difference. I feel like it's maybe a little less bulky, but I personally haven't really noticed a difference. So we'll go around there, and then we're going to tie a knot and come back and through the bum or the back. While I'm at this, I am just going to remind everybody, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, leave me a comment if you feel like you have something that you want to say. Another tug and a tie. Also, don't forget, I love seeing everything that everybody makes. If you want to go down into the description and click my Facebook page, you don't have to follow it. I just want to see. I have a special post made so you can post to my page. It's up at the top pinned, and it's a YouTube icon, and all you do is go on and leave a comment or hit the picture button. Another tug and a cut. What else? If you don't want to post on there, you can also leave me a message in there. I've had a couple people just put it in my message box, either because they weren't sure where to put it, or maybe they didn't want to share it with the whole world. That's perfectly fine too. If I don't see it right away, I will answer eventually. Where do I want to put these? I think we'll just put them out the back. Oh yeah, I don't know if I should say this or not, but I don't know if I just invented this way to add the legs, because I've always seen them added over here, which I don't like. Oh, I just had the weirdest deja vu about that. Okay, anyway, but whether I invented it or not, I think this is really going to be a cool way to do the legs, so you don't have to sew them on after. Anyway. I won't claim to invent it, because I obviously haven't seen every pattern in the world. But in 3 years, I have not come across doing it that way. Okay, now for the arms. You're just going to go in the same stitch that your arm was crocheted into right there. Come out the back in the center of the neck somewhere. I always seem to be right on that stitch marker, which I don't like. But what are you gonna do? Okay, and then do your other one. I am going to, just starting, I've only got a vest made so far. I am going to start making clothes for these guys too. And if you are interested in that, they might be a little harder to come across if you're just searching. But if you go to my channel and click my playlists, then you will look for, I think I called it 8-inch doll accessories. I'm not sure. Okay, so we're just going to pull them arms in. This is kind of my outro, so as soon as I got these in, I think we're done. Ready to go. And then we're going to tie that off. And we're going to put them back inside somewhere. I always keep us thinking of something little. If you've seen anything in this video in the background, every single one of these things is my pattern and a matching video that goes with it. Well, no written pattern, just a pattern. A YouTube video, I guess. So if you want to make anything you see, there will be a video also in my playlist. Either right now, around, I can't say it. I can't even say it now. Amigurumi, or quick and easy. I can't remember if it's projects or crochet, but okay. There we go. I hope you enjoyed making this, and waiting to see what kind of creations you guys come up with. Have a great rest of your day, and happy crocheting.